Hey there, Ryan Reynolds here. It's a new year, and you know what that means. No, not the diet. Resolutions. A way for us all to try and do a little bit better than we did last year. And my resolution, unlike Big Wireless, is to not be a raging and raise the price of wireless on you every chance I get. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited. See mintmobile.com for details.
Welcome to I Don't Need an Acting Class with Milton Justice.
All right, so Grace, could I get you to choose one of your many interesting choices of the art class you took in Florence and tell us about it? I'll have you start. And then if any of you would like to do your imaginary vacation. Grace sent me many of them, and with one of them she sent, I thought, oh, Florence. I mean, it was like... So I'd love to see if she can bring that to us.
Yes. So last year I went on vacation to Florence for a couple of weeks, and while I was there, I decided to take an art class.
Okay, so as long as we're starting, all right. So listen, kids. The purpose of this class and the purpose of me going on and on and on the way I do is I'm trying to give you some habits as well as some insights into how to be brilliant. And so a lot of the things that I notice are issues of patterns that we have that, without knowing it, make us boring. And so one of the things that we do, and in my book, the definitive book on acting, I talk about a grocery list. And the grocery list is a killer. Here is one of the things that we do. And if you can begin to not do this, you will be absolute, because I know where you're headed and it's magical. But we go into this kind of melody of, I went to Florence last year, and then I decided to take a class. But does that make sense when I'm talking about people? In other words, I am trying to get you to understand that every single word that comes out of your mouth when you're acting has to be alive. There is no such thing as bringing us up to date. There is no such thing as setting the scene. Everything is alive. Everything is active. And by the way, this will help you in life. I'm absolutely convinced of it. Do you all understand why I'm going insane about this? And look, a lot of times we think that it's inconsequential, but I have found that if we start, and I don't expect this to happen overnight, but if we start with everything being alive, then we don't have to work so hard. And it can start, Grace, and look, you start where you want, but it can start with, I mean, look, in life, and I get the difference between life and acting, but in life, if you went to Florence 2 weeks ago, I mean, it's that would be an event. So that's why I say work to not feel like it's your job to bring us up to date or to set the scene. These are all uninteresting actions. So start it again. And it's a reason that I've often been known to say to people, cut to the chase. Get to the good stuff. Because somehow or another, when we wander around and things, it's like we pull the energy down and we pull our connection down. And that's what this is about. And I know you can do it because you made Florence alive for me again. And it is, not only one of my favorite cities in the world, it is the city where I had the single most romantic weekend I've ever had in my life. I know. I have my memories. Anyway, start it again.
When I was in Florence, everything was different. Everything is significant there because there's an importance to the history of it all.
Okay. All right. I'm going to keep stopping you.
Okay.
All right. I now feel like, am I supposed to be making notes? Do you understand what I mean? It's like we have this tendency, and by the way, thank you for being abused. But here's the tendency we have. We have a tendency to report generalities. And so we think there's nothing wrong with saying everything in Florence is different. But it's like, it sounds like a report.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't sound like it is really different. There is a way an actor sees the world that is different from the way real people see the world. We don't know about those people. So if we see things through an actor's eyes, that's when it comes to life. Take it again.
When I was in Florence, I stayed in this hotel, and it was a work of art in and of itself. One of my dad's favorite books is The Divine Comedy by Dante, and that's something that we've shared a love for over the years. And this hotel was themed after The Divine Comedy. We have rooms that are hell, and we have rooms that are heaven, and the restaurant it's literally called Gluttony after one of the deadly sins. And
okay, take it again. Much, much better. Much, much better. But more. Okay. It's more incredible. It's more. This is the thing, kids. Boyu, who always makes the excuse, but I've only been speaking English for 3 years. But he was spending a lot of time trying to find the right words. That's not our job. That isn't our job. I told Severin the other day, he can work in Russian, Ukrainian. What do you speak?
Well, Ukrainian, Russian, Polish.
Yeah.
German.
Please. Yes, of course you do. The point is, and this is one of the things that I noticed. I've seen plays in foreign languages. I directed a play in Korean, and I could always tell when the actors had the moments or not. The actors thought at one particular point that I'd been learning Korean, something that would have been impossible for me. But the words don't make any difference. It's your connection. So, take it again. Either enjoy it or do you see what I mean? It's like there's something that I need to see. It's not what you say that makes me know how amazing it was. It is your relationship to it. That's what we're shopping for. When you talk about it, that's like, my God. So it's not just a hotel. but it's a hotel in Florence. And even if I let you get away with it because I thought I was abusing you too much, but do you know how amazing it is, whether it's true or not, the fact that you read Dante with your father? Do you see what I mean? Everything has the possibility for us to bring us alive. Everything has the possibility of something magical. Everything, especially in what you're choosing, it's like, and imagine that a hotel is based on Dante. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing that, and by the way, kids, this is whether it exists or it's not. One of the best exercises ever done to me, which had to do with describing a hotel room, was done by a student of mine whose name is Alicia Gaddis, and she now works all the time. She's published books. And for her exercise, she described a room at the Disneyland Hotel, which didn't exist, but and I've never forgotten it. It was in the 90s that she did this. And it was it all had to do with animated figures coming to life. And that's what we need to always be doing. And it's the reason the Russian word perezhvanie is so important to acting, because it means experiencing. So that is what we need to know. All right, Grace, go again.
Every day I would walk to the studio I was taking my acting class at. And every day I would watch as the morning light just hit all of the beautiful buildings that I would walk by. I walked past the cathedral. It was beautiful. It was massive. And even though it's so old, it was pristine. It was so well cared for and ornate and intricate and masterful. You know that whoever built that put so much love into it. And I would walk to an art class with that kind of inspiration every single day. And then I would walk back to my hotel and I would walk past it again, and I would the light is still there, but it's hitting it differently now. And it gives it a new character. Eventually, when I made time to go inside, I looked around and explored, and it was incredible. But I finally get to the center of the cathedral, and the ceiling is painted because it's a cathedral in Florence, so of course it is. And it's painted to be the final judgment. And you're standing in the middle of a cathedral and looking up and seeing all of these people staring down at you just to see if you're worthy of going to heaven or not. And then just across the way, there's a painting of Dante standing in front of scenes from the Divine Comedy. And it's like everything just fell into place. Because this is a city where art underscores every fiber of its being. This is a city where the cathedral is inspired by literature, which has gone on for centuries to inspire architects, to inspire interior designers, to inspire people that make hotels, to make something beautiful and bright and wonderful. And there's nothing like it anywhere else, because art isn't always as valued anywhere else. So to experience that and to take an art class completely and utterly just changed my world and shifted the way that I look at things. And now nothing is pedestrian anymore because everything is art.
Yeah, bravo. All right. And she got going. But you know, and you kind of like you talk it out, and then eventually you let go and you let go into it. And it takes you over. And it's like all of a sudden you're there. And it tells you what to do. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it that you're suddenly there, and the moments are there and the images are there, and you manage to couple with that the ideas. I mean, it's like you got the idea of art, which I always keep saying when people do art is power, they don't know what art is. And so therefore it's, anyway, good for you. Yes. Yes, that's really good. That's excellent. Did you all sense that? You sensed that, right? How it's just, but you see, it's like you don't get it right away. You kind of wander around, and then it's there, and then it kind of takes over, and you don't have to work so hard. Excellent.
I Don't Need an Acting Class is created and hosted by Milton Justice, produced by me, Walker Vreeland, and music is by Shigoi. I Don't Need an Acting Class is brought to you by weaudition.com, where you can sign up to be a virtual reader for auditions. You can also find a reader for a rehearsal or self-tape. It is the #1 resource for that purpose. And if you use the code Acting Class, you get 25% off, which makes it something like $10 a month. So check that out, weaudition.com. Have a wonderful week, and we will see you back here next time.